With the new patch releasing, we have some new tech. And the frontliner that has been dominating the high elo scene in pretty much all regions in the early game is Big Daddy Swain. And let me show you guys why. And so here we are, we have a completely unnecessary buff to Swain, where he has his mana going from 40 to 30 and 80 to 70, making it to where his first cast happens at the same time, but he will get a second cast much quicker. And if you have any tank item, he will pretty much guarantee that he gets a second cast, making him virtually immortal in the early game if you have the right setup, especially if you have him upgraded to 2-star. Additionally, Samira and Cassiopeia, which is his strongest opener, was buffed as well. And so let me just show you guys some of the openers that you can play Swain and how you should be utilizing Swain to gain some LP and get a free early game. Now, you don't just want to like hard force Swain no matter what. He's not that broken. It's not like Tarek. But if you have the opener to play a Swain and you have some tank items, you definitely want to slam him and you definitely want to play Swain. So if you get the standard Noxus opener, this is going to be your best bet because Noxus gives him HP. His transform scales with HP. And if you want to look up some data on Swain, it may not reflect, like Swain may not be reflecting, if you look like average placement, like super strongly in the data, but that's because he doesn't, he's not going to be on your in-game board most of the time. Sometimes he will be. His strength is really, he dominates stage 2 and stage 3, and a lot of people try to build more aggressive items on Swain, and he really just wants tank items, and he will survive very strongly with 2 casts and make him the strongest frontliner in the early game. If you can get him to cast 3 times, he's not going to die in the early game. So, but anyways, if you get this opener, this is going to be his strongest opener because the additional HP, and the items we want to put on Swain are going to be hard tank items. You're going to feel like you want to slam Spark, and Spark is a fine item on Swain, especially if you end up wanting to play an AP build, like long-term, like Invokers, Sorks, or whatever. You do want to have a Spark in your build, but typically you want to have that on your secondary frontliner. Or if you have to build on Swain, it is fine. It is a good item on Swain, but Swain you really want to have hard tank items on him because, again, you need to get to that second cast, and if you can get 3 cast, he is immortal. So hard tank items are going to be your best bet, but obviously Spark is a item that you would want in an AP build no matter what. So if it has to go here, it has to go here. But if Swain's going to be on your in-game board, you want to put your Spark on probably your secondary tank, which would be Eric in most AP boards, if he's going to be on your in-game board. So yeah, something like Warmogs and a Bramble or a Stoneplate or a Titans or a Redemption, a Dequal, you know, the hard tank items are going to be your best bet. If you do have a Noxus opener, a Sunfire is extremely strong because Sunfire is probably the best early game item along with Runans and a couple other ones. It is so strong in the early game, and especially in the Noxus build, because if you have Sunfire built, it will buff your Cassiopeia. She does do additional damage in the early game. So this is how you want to play. If you can get this opener, it is very strong on the current patch. Now, if you get a Sork opener, like you get, you know, you're just playing around some Sorks, and this is obviously once we've kind of like, you know, we've gotten our Vel'Koz. We got a couple 3 costs in here, but I'm just showing you what this could look like. If you have like a 4 Sork opener, you have a Sork Heart, maybe you have a 2-star Ori and a 2-star Malzahar, and then you get a Swain drop and then an emblem, all that good stuff. So if you can do that, this is also very strong. And then Swain is especially very powerful in the Sork build once you can pair him with a Tarek, and this is the guy you would want to put your Spark on if you're going to play an in-game board with Swain on it. You'd rather have the hard tank items on Swain. Swain is now the better tank to Tarek, especially in the early game. Things can change a little bit once you have Targon and that sort of thing in some other builds. But yeah, you want to have your hard tank items on Swain and then put your Spark here. This is also a very powerful opener if you can get it. You know, you get the drops, that sort of thing, or get an emblem. And then in the Invoker build, the mid-game, whenever you're rolling for the mid-game board, a lot of times you would play like Kassadin or something like that. That has now changed. You're now going to want to play Swain here instead of something like Kassadin. If you had a 2-star Kassadin, go and play the 2-star Kassadin if that stabilizes you. But if you have the option to choose between like a 2-star Kassadin or a 2-star Swain for your level 6 stabilization of the Invoker build, then you want to go with Swain. And then again, hard tank items on Swain, put your Spark over here onto Tarek. But anyways, guys, that is just a quick video. Just wanted to teach you guys some of the Swain tech. Definitely try to use this frontliner right now. Very, very, very strong. May not reflect in the data, but you got to be playing this guy if you have the angle in the early game. It is a free win streak. It is a free stabilization, and you should be playing some Swain. Good luck climbing. I love you all, and I love TFT.